Welcome to another episode of Roses Are Red podcast with your host, Mrs. Red Rose, her co-host, Sam I Am from the Married Couple Podcast, and AC from Midnight Media.
Welcome in, everyone. How's everybody doing?
We're good.
Awesome. Welcome to another Headlight Show.
It's working.
So
I love it.
It's
It's our thing. It's our thing now.
Yeah,
Headlights.
yeah, we should lean in and embrace anything that is just random and weird.
Yep.
All the little quirks.
I like our quirks.
Hashtag headlights. So
Yeah.
Yep.
hashtag deer in the headlights.
Gear to the headlights, deer in the headlights.
Deer in the headlights.
So tonight we have a couple of headlight shows. So does anybody want to start first?
Sure, I'll go. I'll go. Let's talk about this. Police in Hawaii released a man who killed neighbor who fatally shot 3 people at a gathering. So this happened. I don't know. This article came out 3 hours ago, so it probably happened over the weekend. So a man who was arrested on suspicion of murder after shooting and killing a neighbor who opened fire at a Hawaii gathering has now been released from custody. Police say today or Tuesday, which is today. 3 people were killed and 2 others injured in a shooting at a home stemming from a dispute between neighbors on Saturday night in, let's try this, folks, Waianae, in a West Oahu community. The shooter was also fatally shot by a resident who was arrested on second-degree murder charge, the police said. So Honolulu police said the 42-year-old man was released pending an investigation on Sunday night. The identities of those who were killed have not yet been released by the Honolulu Medical Examiner's office today. On Saturday night, though, a family was hosting a gathering in a carport when a 58-year-old neighbor using a front-end loader rammed cars into the carport and then opened fire. 3 women were killed. The 42-year-old man who lives at the home of the gathering shot and killed the 58-year-old with a handgun. The police, Philip Ganabin, chair of the Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board, said he knows the families of both of the residences involved. He was still struggling Tuesday to make sense of what had happened. The man who opened fire at the gathering was also known as a family man. They were still wondering what would trigger him so bad, he said, and it was a bad decision that he made. So the 58-year-old was known to rent out space on his property for words are hard, for parties earlier. For blah, blah, blah. Earlier in the evening, some people at the gathering had been concerned about people renting the space and burning rubber with cars going up and down the road. So racing up and down the road. That's when the police, as police described, he used the heavy equipment with 4 55-gallon drums containing unknown fuel to ram vehicles into the carport gathering. So I think this guy was just like, fuck you, kids. Yeah. However, I can see why they released the 42-year-old. I think it was more of a self-defense. Like, if you're coming at me, I'm gonna make sure you don't kill any more people.
Right.
I don't know. What do we think?
Wow.
You have to want that. You have to really want the outcome, I mean,
yeah. A front end loader with 55-gallon tubs or whatever, barrels of unknown fuel, and then opening fire and killing 3 women. Ugh. I can see why the 42-year-old was defending his family and himself. Yeah. But
to ram, and then like Rambo, just after you ran, you're just like, you know what, akimbo, pop.
Yep.
It's really a hard thing to process.
Like Rambo.
Right. For real.
Well, I mean, I do wonder what was in that 58-year-old's mind. It wasn't them that were burning rubber. They lived there. They weren't the ones racing up and down. I don't know. Crazy. Crazy things happen on holiday weekends, folks.
I'm sorry. Where was that again?
Honolulu.
Honolulu. That's right. Oahu. Yep.
Jesus. So I've got an interesting one. I've got one. It made me not want to have cornbread with my husband anymore.
Oh, you're muted, AC. Okay.
I'm like,
Have you been to Hawaii, Rose?
no, actually, I've never been to Hawaii.
Hawaii's
Really?
lovely.
Never been to Hawaii.
You've been to Sam?
A couple times, yeah. When I was
Nice.
real young and when I was 16. And now my nephew's stationed there, but I'm hoping to get there before he moves Air Force or sorry, Army bases, but it's beautiful.
My brother-in-law just moved there to the island, to Oahu.
Yeah.
For his last stationing in the Air Force. So we
Yeah,
plan to go visit him and use our points.
Yeah. Yeah.
To do
It's gorgeous. I love Maui. I think that's probably my favorite island.
that. Remind me after the show, or if people are interested, to tell you about where we really want to go, which is to Portugal, Madeira, Portugal.
Okay.
Madeira, Portugal it's like Game of Thrones. It's the most beautiful place you can imagine by the sea. It's beautiful. It's so unbelievably like different, you know. So look it up, anybody out there. Yeah, Madeira, Portugal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the points themselves will just get you there. So if anybody has a credit card with miles,
Yep.
start using them. You can't take them with you. So.
No, you can't.
And definitely can't buy anything at the bar with them, but it will let you travel.
Rose, you had something for us, right? You had
I do.
Cornbread, yeah.
Cornbread.
cornbread. I love cornbread.
Me too.
You know what? I don't think I want to eat cornbread with my husband. I think,
Why?
I
Well,
wanna
tell
make
us.
sure.
Tell us
Why?
why.
I think I sent you the. We lost AC.
Oh, crepe. Well, let's.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Sometimes we hit buttons, folks, and things happen. Nope, just kicked you out.
It's totally fine. I had to refresh to make my everything. So if you need to know, everything needs to be black in my world. So everything is black. And as soon as there's one white page, my eyes sear. And so I have to go in there and I refresh to make this screen black. So I wouldn't hate looking at you guys.
Well, we thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for that one. So this one's a story about, her name is Betty Conley. She was married for about 20 years. And I think I sent you the story, AC. I'm not sure. On Telegram.
Sure.
She was married for about 20 years. Her husband was 42 and she was 18 when they got married.
Oh,
And
normal.
things were, things were, she says, she talks about things were absolutely the best in their marriage, blah, blah, blah. Like it was really good in the beginning of their marriage.
Like all marriages.
Right? She says, but then she started getting into drugs. And drugs played a big part of what she did next. I guess her husband had a gun and it was just like, I guess like on the counter or something. And she would walk by it and the gun kept like calling her name. Like it kept calling her attention.
Betty. Betty. Over here on the counter, bitch. Pick
I'm over here. Pick me up.
And
you can't resist my lure.
How shiny my handle is, Betty.
Look at this. So apparently, like, it kept falling off onto the floor. She kept picking it up, putting it back, and
Playing
kept but yeah. So on that point, her husband asked her, "Hey, can you give me a piece of cornbread?" And she goes, "Sure, no problem." She goes and gets him the cornbread, gives him the cornbread, and he's sitting there eating. While he's eating, she goes back, gets the gun, and bloop.
Jeez Louise.
It's the last motherfucking thing you eat.
That'll show you for asking for the cornbread.
Right?
Fuck your cornbread. Fuck you. And that, you know what? This brings up other feelings that I have, and I think you should die.
And the gun's been calling my name anyway.
Yep. So I was like going, all of that for cornbread. But when you look at her, I mean,
tracks.
Well,
it distracts.
I couldn't tell if I was looking at the Joker or if I was looking at Betty. I didn't know who's. I'm just. You'll see what I'm talking about when
You're
it comes
so mean,
out.
though.
I wasn't being mean. I'm just saying Joker had. I mean, they're both lipsticks are about the same. I'm just wondering.
Just asking questions here.
Just asking. Who
Just
looks
saying.
better?
Who wore it better?
Yeah, who
I
wore
just
it
got a
better?
message saying Tiger Queen. Isn't that weird? Weird. It freaked me out. I was like, is it you guys? Okay, so let's watch Cornbread.
They call me Cornbread here because my husband was eating cornbread.
Those are oh my God. Those,
Lord in heaven.
I love, first of all, I hadn't seen her face yet, but I love those women who are like breathlessly Southern, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
She kind of reminds me of Ursula from Little Mermaid.
She needs tentacles to really pull it all off.
When I
She's
shot
wearing
him.
and everything.
And nobody.
Look at her mouth. It already looks like, you know, it already looks like she's ready. It already looks like a grouper, her mouth. Like a whole ass grouper.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Call
talk
me Cornbread here
because that's what I love. Because
my husband was eating cornbread when I shot him.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to come and eat cornbread with me.
Why is it outside your mouth? Like, why is it so outside your lips? That doesn't make any
sense.
You're right, Rosen. I'm sorry that I doubted you. You're totally right. Cross between Benjamin Franklin and the Joker.
Look at her eyes right there.
Imagine
I didn't know eyes could do that.
Quadruple chin looking at you like that with those
Again,
tattooed.
She looks like Ursula.
Tattooed eyebrows. Good Lord.
Jeez,
like,
Louise.
But like, why? Are the mirrors that bad?
She looks like Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Oh my God.
The fabled ABC show.
I am not wrong.
You're not wrong at all. It's like Ursula and Mimi.
Mimi.
Oh,
but she look at she show remorse. She killed a person. Should she show remorse here?
Yeah, she should.
Every second of every day. There's no more laughing, Ursula.
I mean, but then it's cornbread. So
cornbread. It's what's funny is that it's cornbread, but I don't know how to put on lipstick. Look at this jagged line. Like I see girls work. Look at the edge of
the
this.
lipstick on the cornbread and ate it.
I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl. Fuck out of here.
Oh, jeez.
Conley is serving a life sentence for murdering her husband.
We had been together for 20 years. When we got together, he was 42. I was 18. And it was real good in the beginning.
You see how that ends?
Don't ask for cornbread.
Don't marry a very young girl and then make her into a house slave, and then one day she won't kill you over cornbread.
That's true.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I'll never
Things
look at
were good.
cornbread.
I mean, it would have been anything. Hey, honey, can you pass me the potatoes? Like,
yeah.
You know, it's like
didn't matter what was for dinner that night.
Yeah,
it's just
it was,
that he asked.
Let's just say it was bubbling. It's just bubbling for a little while.
Conley claims her drug use played a role in the murder.
Here's my drugs.
We had a gun in the house, and this gun's been standing here for years, you know, right beside the bed. I've never picked it up, but this gun just keeps falling over, and it just keeps like grabbing my attention.
She's smiling from ear to ear, saying like, "I picked the motherfucking gun up.
He was grabbing my attention.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
just kept falling out the drawer.
I do declare.
I do declare. It just kept falling out the.
Are you related
He
to?
asked for some.
I want to know if she's related to the Murdoch, the Gingers.
She's related to Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cornbread, and I said, "Okay, just a minute." Okay. I'm really not thinking. I'm just like a robot. I go get his cornbread. I bring it to him. Like he's sitting in his recliner. He's watching TV. I just went up behind him and I shot him.
Damn, did him like fucking the Mad King from the back. Not even like
so
face
matter of factly.
Yeah.
I like, just went up behind him and I shot him.
I put extra butter on it. And then just like bop.
You want some honey with that cornbread?
Oh, shut up. I love
I know
that.
it's the best.
Oh my God.
Golden, fluffy, like fucking cornbread just out of the fresh.
Now think about it. Every time you look at
butter.
cornbread, you're gonna be thinking of her now.
Not really. I'm
There's
gonna think
nothing
how
you can do
yummy
that's
it is
still-
in my mouth.
Yeah.
And then in my
And
stomach.
she has and thinking about how not yummy she would be in my mouth.
And how cornbread doesn't lead me to murder.
Yes. And looking at her naked would not leave me to murder either. I think that I would definitely start stabbing people if I had to see her naked for any amount of time.
Just seeing her fully clothed with that lipstick is making me contemplate it.
Come on, AC. Come on. Just to keep it just to keep it like fresh in the bedroom. Stay cosplay as her one night, Cosplay as her, be like, come on, baby.
Oh my
Make me
god!
feel good. Make me feel good.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I mean, if you want to keep it spicy,
I just
Spicy.
I just really wanted to pause it there. Look at that muffin top.
I
Look at that
Sure.
fucking-
I
Are her
think
tits
that's
that
her
big,
muffin
or is
top.
that
Or-
that's her titties.
is that her stomach or her tits? That's a
Do
valid
her
question.
boobs hang low? I think
Do
they
they-
meet in the middle.
They got that straight line. They go right down.
It's like, bloop, yep. They meet in the
over your
middle.
shoulders.
endless columns.
they call me cornbread here
Oh,
because my husband was eating cornbread.
Were we done?
That's it. I just want to hear it one more time. Because my husband was eating cornbread.
Right. Oh,
We're done now.
cornbread.
Now we can go. Now we can go.
Jeez.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Man,
That
she
is something, man.
I have to crop this out, and every once in a while just flash it on the screen. Her laying down with her 50
That's
chins.
what
like,
reminds me of Ursula, right? That
on the
whole picture
hallway.
right
Yeah.
there.
Ooh.
Poor and Fortunate Souls just flies through my head right now. I feel like
Send me to the prison some brand new lipstick. I want to smear it on like a pretty girl. Ooh. God bless. Okay. All right. Sorry. Oh, the great story, Rose. Thank you for that.
AC just threw up a little bit.
In my
You
mouth.
know,
Yeah, in his mouth.
In my mouth. I thought about it
Just
for a
wanna-
minute.
just want to make sure you guys knew, about this cornbread. That
I mean,
I felt.
you could have led with like, this woman looks like the Joker, but you didn't. You waited. You waited.
Oh my goodness, that is
Oh,
great.
I guess it's my turn.
I guess it is.
And I'm gonna bring the latest here because yes, was it today? Yeah, today. 9/3, September 3rd. Georgia man convicted of fatally stabbing a 19-year-old escort. The
Oh,
word I was reading headlines and escort really grabbed my attention. So,
yeah.
and dumping her remains in the woods. So
Wow.
this is Duluth, Georgia. He doesn't look like he would do anything of the sort.
He looks not at all like a serial killer.
No, or someone who drives a truck solely to pick up women like that.
Right.
What do you think, Rose?
Jeez,
Trust,
Is she a
trust the
lot
guy?
lizard?
Right? I was like,
But
"Jeez
she's-
Louise."
This
So
guy
young.
approaches you. His head. He looks like a thumb.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah,
A thumb
Him-
with a beard.
Look at that.
it's a little.
Look-alike
Yep.
contest.
It is.
So-
Who did it or better?
Yeah.
Looks a little scary. I'm not gonna lie.
That guy approaches you at the Golden Corral. What are you doing?
The Golden Corral.
Yeah. Don't worry why you're at the Golden Corral. You're at the Golden Corral.
I mean,
This
it's
guy approaches
Georgia, for Pete's sakes.
Okay, but what's
It's
is
a-
the
it's a
Golden
buffet.
Corral?
you. You say what's a Golden
It's a
Corral?
restaurant. It's a buffet.
We don't have that here.
Uh,
All I see is Latino privilege. So, in Duluth, Georgia, a man is convicted of killing a young mother whose decomposed remains were found in a wooded area in 22. So this has been going on since then. A jury found that 51-year-old Timothy Kruger, great name, we were just talking about Friday the 13th,
yeah.
guilty on the 30th, a couple days ago, of malice murder. Not sure what malice murder is. Every murder is malice.
Right.
Felony murder, aggravated assault in connection with the stabbing of a 19-year-old Sarai Llanos Gromas. He will be sentenced later in the year. According to prosecutors, on the night of the 16th of June, 22, Kruger requested an escort, but it was a different woman than he wanted. So Llanos Gomez reportedly went to his home and they got into a fight about her pay, which is normal with hookers. I hear.
Right.
You're gonna have to negotiate, Kruger had allegedly been robbed by an escort in the past, so he became upset. Llanos retrieved a knife from the kitchen and attempted to escape. The district attorney's office said, noting that she was much smaller than the defendant. You think? You know? You got to fight you got to fight my big toe.
She's 19 years old for Pete's
She's a baby, and she's already hooked. Like, how many Johns did you have that day?
I mean, let's put this in perspective. My youngest daughter is 19 years old.
I mean, parallels to your family. Like, oh my God.
I'm just saying, putting it in perspective.
Yes.
They're the same age. I mean, she is a young mother. I get it. I was a young mother at almost that age. I'm a little older, but it's crazy that
So you weren't doing no escorting.
No,
you know?
No, I was not.
Right? No.
No, that's one thing I didn't do.
Wonderful. I cannot say the same. I have sold my body for money.
Yeah.
Several times. Yeah. Absolutely. Of course I have. There's a lot of lonely women out there that are just want to go to the movies.
Yeah. Just want to go to the movies.
Just it. That's yeah. They didn't give me a hand job. So according to district attorney's office, Kruger took the knife from Llanos and stabbed her in the back. Again with the back. No one has the honor to kill somebody in the front. And she repeatedly through the body. Then he reportedly slashed her throat because he's not at all bloodlusted at this point.
No.
Her clothes and wrapping her in a blanket. Kruger placed the victim's body in a vehicle and drove to a wooded area in Hall County, where he dumped the remains. Llanos' Gomez's decomposed body was discovered June 20th of 2022. It's hard to say. Yes. And authorities positively identified her as the actual person in the blanket. Investigators reportedly searched for Llanos Gomez's cell phone through her activity and stuff, and if they found a suspect on a local Ring camera. It ended up being the primary suspect, the guy in question, and then according to prosecutors, Kruger admitted to killing Llanos, but then claimed self-defense. So, hold on a minute.
But
she came at me with a knife. I'm going to be Kruger for him. I'll take it.
Okay,
I'm Kruger.
Okay.
You come at me with a knife. What do you expect in return? We're negotiating your hooking terms, and then what happens?
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't think.
You know what I mean? She's also 19, and maybe she doesn't know what this means. This means you can kill me, right?
Well, she also is 19 and is hooking and needs some sort of protection.
And where's her pimp?
Huh?
Where was her pimp?
Probably not there. Maybe she didn't have one. Maybe she was a entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe she was a new.
Maybe she was, she was a 1099, on her own employee.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good point. She's a 1099 fitness model.
Yes, exactly.
1099 fitness model.
I don't know. I mean, for one, he easily took it from her, and then he disarmed the situation, correct? I mean, he didn't have to go and stab her in the back, for one, and then slash her throat. That is seriously, that's insane to think that, okay, I've already disarmed the threat. I have your weapon. He could be like, put his hand on her head and she can't get to him. And yet he makes that decision to go full on and kill her. So I looked up, malice, murder. So malice shall be implied where no considerable provocation appears, where all circumstances of the killing show an abandoned and malignant heart. A person commits the offense of murder when the commission of a felony or he or she causes death, blah, 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 being irrespective to malice. So malice murder that's what it is.
Wanton
and that's
violence.
A Georgia thing. I don't think that's anywhere.
It's not a federal thing.
No.
But I think that refers to wanton, like that's what I'm understanding from it. It's like no disregard whatsoever, bloodlusted killing.
Right, no provocation. I mean, there was some provocation, I guess, but once he disarmed her, there was no reason for him to continue. He could have pretty much probably had his way with her, didn't not pay her, and had her go on her way. You know what I mean?
Unless she stabbed him with a knife.
But he took the knife away. It was her knife that he stabbed.
But then they continue. Let's say this continues. Our erotic adventure continues. after you try to stab me, and somehow I'm gonna get aroused after you do this,
Well,
right?
it seems like
And
he
then-
probably was already. I mean, to me, to go that far in slashing her throat, I don't know. I think that was maybe part of his fantasy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Totally. No, I have to agree with you there.
She just didn't know what she was getting into when he picked her up.
Like, motherfucker. And then we don't know exactly what happened between her picking up her wanting to pick up the knife. Like what the argument looked like.
Right, exactly. Was he already threatening her? Was she trying to defend herself? We don't know. We weren't there, but he took it to.
Did she start it?
We don't know.
I'll always take the victim, the other side. Always. So this guy was 49 years old. This is another kind of a follow up. This is last month though. So in a statement, Hulk, the police said, the sheriff office said, "I'm proud of the way that our crime unit handled it and collaborated with the Department of Homeland Security," because apparently there's Homeland Security is into this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then for some reason, let me scan why.
Also, if it's self-defense, you're not hiding a body in the woods.
That's true, but he knew he was cooked because he mutilated the body. Mutilated the body. Stab you in the back is fine. Like I can spin you around, stab you in the back, and push you away and call 911 and be like, this bitch is trying to kill me. But that would imply that you're a pussy that can't kill a bitch, right? So like, I'm not doing that. I have a truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna dispose of this bitch. I'm a good old boy. So that's just that's all. There's a certain level of that too. So 6 weeks ago, we had no idea who our victim was,
right?
And had the lead on the killer. Our team was able to put that together, and this is justice for the Gomez and her family, who is nobody's really talking about why she's a hooker though.
No, I mean, and that's sad that she is.
Yeah.
She was.
Yep, she was. Rest your soul. Rest your soul, little one.
And how old was she?
19.
Gosh.
A baby. In your eyes, a baby.
A baby.
Did you imagine a baby hooking?
Oh, she...
No, I mean like a toddler.
Well, stop. That's one of the stories.
Well, come on now.
One that
Totally.
Rose was not going to do. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that toddler hooking. It was the mom hooking the toddler.
Like that old Dave Chappelle thing. It's like, hey baby. I see a baby on the corner. Hey baby.
Though you know what? Those are tough to do. When it comes to the kids, those are so tough to do.
I'll do them all. I mean, I think you love it. I think there's something about reporting it that you like.
Yeah, but you know what? There's ones that kind of get me to the point where I'm like, your head starts going like spinning 100 miles per hour because it just starts. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your trigger. That's fine.
Yeah.
I approach it different. I don't have kids, so I approach it just like I would a person. You see them as, and of course they're defenseless and they should be protected at all costs. But I don't think one death is more horrible than another one, regardless of the age. If a lot of kids, yeah, that sucks. That's really bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat like a lot of children dying at once. That's probably the most heinous thing that can happen.
And unfortunately, there's a lot that happens like that.
I haven't really seen it since Uvalde. Thank God. Let's knock on wood, right? That we haven't seen it like that. That was like a year ago. So,
yeah.
Statistically, we're due. I hate to say that.
I know. It's scary.
We're due. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen every day, but it does. Statistically, we should have another between 50, 60.
Yeah.
Because of the numbers, right? So speaking of people passing away, there's some new information on the Las Vegas. This is not my update, but I'm planting the seed for the future. There's new information on the Las Vegas shooting, which nobody knows I'm in Las Vegas, and I was here for that, so it was very close to me. I had people that I love were at Route 91. I was about to go. If anybody wants to hear that story, I'll tell it. But I was literally, everybody in my family loves country music. I despise it, but I would have just gone and have a good time. I would have gotten super inebriated to make Jason Aldean sound palatable, and and I would have not been able to run away fast enough. So I could have totally gotten shot that night. Wow. Anyway, there's some new information, so I'm going to put that together and kind of talk about the Las Vegas killing soon, because that was still the biggest mass murder on American soil.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that was a big story too. A very big story.
And then it just went away.
Yeah.
It just went away. It just went away forever. And that's it. You solved it like that? Bullshit. You start looking at those records. Some of those cops were getting paid. Lombardo, who's now the governor, he was the sheriff, right? He was like the chief, and during the shit, and he was making a good $300,000 a year, you know. And what if your other officers are making between $175,000 and $225,000 a year, and they're all that? Wouldn't you, if you fucked up really, really bad, wouldn't you want to keep your job? Wouldn't you lie for one another to make sure your friend to the left and to the right are both making $200,000 a year? There's some things to consider there, and the new information really is that there is Ian Carroll on TikTok does a really good job of explaining it, and probably going to show that. But there was bombs simultaneously. There's a map now that shows when and where things were happening in real time during that.
Oh wow!
Right? You're talking about, which we already knew about, which was bombs at Bally's, Hooters, right? There was people reported Aria. People were running. People were saying active shooter in Caesars. So if you know anything about Vegas, we're talking about the most southern part of the strip.
Right.
In front of Mandalay Bay and Excalibur.
Yep. It's
catty corner, so you can barely get a good steady shot without a bump stock, and get it to the crowd. It was far away enough, but why are people running 4, 6, and 8 blocks away?
Right, that doesn't make sense.
Long Vegas blocks,
right. No, I mean that's a trek to get there. It definitely is.
I'm gonna bring that together a little bit more. And,
awesome.
And talk to you about it.
Sweet. Yeah, it'll be awesome. Definitely awesome. Especially you're right there, so close.
Yeah, fun fact, I sucked it up and went to a Jason Aldean concert the night I met Dave.
God damn, I'm so sorry.
But I met my husband, so the concert was meh. Because I'm not a big country fan. I do like to line dance, but that's there's usually the older country songs that I like to line dance to.
Allie likes to line dance. You should come down and line dance with her. I could never take her. I'll never take her. I've watched. She's going to meet up with her friends who don't live here anymore. Unfortunately, they moved to Tennessee, and they do the whole.
Yeah, it's fun.
Whatever, and I'd watch, play pool, get drunk, laugh at guys with really, really tight shirts and big buckles.
Yeah, things have changed a touch. I mean, I've gone the same bar that I met Dave in as a college night, and I went with Alex, and I felt older than dirt. And they've changed a lot of the dances, even the wobble, which is they've made it country now. I'm like, that is dumb. That is not what this was made for.
What? No way.
It's not good.
You know what? That's a crime in itself, right there.
Yes.
Oh God. Now I have to share this with you guys. I'm so sorry. Does anybody else have a story?
I mean, whatever. What do you want to share?
That was gonna hurt. Sorry in advance, Rose. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're going.
Drunk teen accused of fatally running over a 2-year-old who was riding it on a tricycle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah, that one hit hard, huh? Look at it. Do you think this guy cares about anything you have to say?
No, he's a little punk.
You think this person, if you told him hey, slow down, buddy. Don't drink your tall boys.
You, man.
Ain't nobody tell me what to do, boy. From Florida. Not my part of Florida.
Where is that?
Tavares is middle. I want to know now. Tavares, Florida. I've seen it. I've also completely gone across that state. Tavares, Florida. City in the... Okay. Let's look at the map here. Everybody coming on this journey.
We're learning together, folks.
It's the best thing.
Oh, it's right in
the middle.
Right by. So here's where I'm from. Lake Okeechobee, way the fuck in the middle, kind of where Tampa St. Pete, Daytona, Deltona, and the whole Palm Coast.
Yeah. Okay.
By Inverness. Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Was he drunk? Was he like, or?
I'm so glad you asked. So, with a heavy heart, this sucked. So police arrested a teen male. That's my, I'm having trouble because it's like my worst fear is to do that. I'm so cautious. So police arrested a teen male this week after allegedly drove drunk and fatally struck a child who was riding a tricycle at the time.
Jesus.
September 2nd, approximately 7:15 p.m., officers responded to a 2-year-old boy who was hit and lifted on a lifted bulldog truck, which, oh my God, can you imagine? Upon their arrival, police observed neighbors rendering aid to the child who was transported to a local hospital, but police noted the incident took place at the Oak Bend neighborhood. It's a gated community in Tavares, Florida. The 2-year-old's mother told police that her children were riding bikes in front of their residence and her husband were in the driveway. She allegedly saw the truck speed down the street and turn into the road into the neighborhood. The mother and her husband reportedly began yelling at the truck to please slow down. One witness allegedly told officials that front tires of the truck drove entirely over the victim. And the affidavit reviewed that it alleges that the vehicle struck the boy, then appeared to drag the child on the bicycle for a few feet and then come to a stop. For whatever reason, the number 19 continues to come up because everything happens in threes. Police said that emergency aid was performed on the victim. Officers noticed that the smell of alcohol emanating from the truck, and the 19-year-old driver, Joshua Montero, reportedly performed a field sobriety test and exercises to take a breathalyzer, which confirmed that he was under the influence of alcohol. It looks like Montero's blood level was reportedly 0.062 and 0.57, which is over the legal limit. And police later learned that the 2-year-old boy succumbed to his injuries, and Montero was booked. Facing charges of DUI manslaughter, he remains without bail.
Okay, so kid's 19, adult size. I understand he's under the age of 21. At a 0.06, I don't know. I don't breathalyze when I drink.
You're not double the limit yet. Like you are over.
Well, 0.08 is the limit for an adult. So if I blew a 0.06 in Nebraska. So if I blew a 0.06, I wouldn't get a DUI. I mean, unless I'm,
Breathalyzer.net. Of course there was a breathalyzer.net. Oh no, this is a fucking thing that takes, okay. Everyone should have a breathalyzer keychain, by the way.
I want one. Again, I watch videos of people who are like, how long does it take me to get to a 0.08? Because that's typically the legal limit. But again, because he's a minor, he's underneath the age of 21, legal drinking age, any alcohol is going to be a DUI.
And 21. Sometimes scope, like if you do scope or Listerine, you might
one with alcohol in it. Yeah. But the point is he probably was inebriated. I mean, but a full-size person, a 0.06 compared to, that's less than us as legal adults could blow. If we blew that, we would be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, again, I don't think they would say it was a DUI or driving drunk at a 0.06.
But he's still a minor.
He's not convicted yet. It's his first, maybe his first, guessing. His first
the fact of the matter is he ran over a kid.
Right. And are they doing it because they ran over the kid? Are they giving him the DUI because he ran over the kid? And I was going to ask, what do you guys think? Is it more the lifted truck didn't allow him to see the kid, or was it the inebriation didn't let him see the kid?
I think he was being a jackass and a 19-year-old flying through the neighborhood and probably didn't see the kid, didn't listen to the parents yelling, didn't any of that. And he was like,
irrespective of the inebriation, right? That didn't matter so much as the truck.
Right. To be fair, again, thinking of it, he's 2 years away from legal drinking age at a 0.06. Would it be considered a drunk driving? No, not if you're a legal 21-year-old. However, but you could still feel a little bit, but I don't know. I guess we should look at that.
I'm going to look. Rose, what do you think about this?
I think my personal opinion is he should be locked up.
Throw him under the jail. No, we know that, but is there anything more than that? We know you want him to die immediately, but what do you?
I think he's under I think it's the car. I think it's also, but him, if he's been drinking. I mean, I'm wondering if there's also maybe weed in his system.
Yeah, we don't know that. He could have other things, but it would slow his
But with the
reaction
weed
time.
and the alcohol, and if he's, I mean,
I feel attacked.
I mean, look at not you, but look at him. I mean, his eyes are, you can't even like his pupils are huge.
He
No,
kind of looks like he's posing
like
for the.
he's an asshole. Yeah,
He
that's what
does.
he looks like.
He looks like he's like, yeah, what's up?
I don't give a
did
fuck
that.
about y'all. I did that shit. Let's take a quick look here.
Fucking kid shouldn't have been in the road. Wasn't my fault. One of those
fucking, I'll take my turn, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. My truck legal. Okay.
Yeah,
A person.
0.08.
Yep, you're totally right. Yep. So that's what I wanted to say. So blood alcohol 0.08, which is the same in Nebraska and Florida. And then a person in Florida who's under the influence of alcohol or any chemical substance set forth under Florida law, because there's a DUI and a DWI. So if I'm driving high, I'm probably going to get a DWI. If I'm driving drunk, it's going to be DUI. If I'm trying both, I think they call it a DWDUI.
I think
no,
so.
they don't do that. So for your first conviction should be, so this is why I'm looking at it. This is his first DUI, I would imagine. Your first conviction for a DUI in the state will result in a fine between $500 and $1,000 and up to 6 months imprisonment. If your blood alcohol level is over 0.15, or if there's a minor in your vehicle, the fine will be $1,000 to $2,000 and face up to 9 months imprisonment. That's your first. And then it's just, subsequently you lose your license all the way up to 4 and 5, and fourth DUI, you're done.
So,
so I'm saying, like, it, because he did this to a child, obviously it's horrendous. But it's not consistent with the law. Like, I think you were trying to make that point. It's not like,
my thought is, it is in a way because he is a minor. So any alcohol in his system, he would get a DUI, correct? But a 0.08 is what a legal adult would have. So had I not run over a toddler and gotten pulled over and I blew a 0.06, they would say, you're fine. You're under the legal limit. Go on your merry way. Say I had a tail light out or something. Now, if I'm driving recklessly, that might be something, but I don't think they could do a DUI on that because the alcohol limit was, the alcohol was under the legal limit. Again, I don't think the alcohol was the biggest factor in this. I think he was being a jackass.
Right. And then having a truck that you can't see, the floor on. So if you take a wide turn, you can't see what the fuck is going on under your truck,
Especially if you have blind side. I mean, there's a lot of these cars have blind sides.
This is a big old jacked up truck.
Jacked up lifted truck. Like, it's basically, and
I have a lift. I like trucks. I have a lifted truck, right? I have a 6-inch lifted truck, but I'm very cautious.
What do you do not to run over children?
I make sure nobody's around me when I'm parking the car, and if I see anybody that's a little, I'll go around the block a couple times before they, And
in residential areas, you go really slow, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's even a gated community. He had to be leaving someplace. Exactly. Like, I'm in a hurry. Probably, I don't know.
That's exactly right. Like, or getting somewhere in a hurry. Like, you know what? I'll just go pick up,
Bubba,
Tommy, whatever, with a 12-pack and tall boys and stuff.
Right.
I've seen this. I'm from there. I know exactly what happens. Yeah. Especially that part of Florida, which is different than the part I'm from. And they like to drink. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it ain't the weed. So yeah, that's horrible. So sorry, Rose. I didn't mean to do that on purpose.
You did. That's all right. You had to pop.
How does it make you feel?
You had to pop another cherry. That's why.
No, well, the cherry's well popped. The cherry's well popped. I'm just kind of stimulating the cherry.
Right.
Did I just say that's disgusting? Why did I say this? I do it to myself. Sam?
I don't know what I have. Give me a second. Rose, if you have something else, go for it.
Something else?
Let's see.
I mean, right on the cover of True Crime, we can talk about this for a second. Rose, you can totally bring that up. It's gonna be quick.
I mean, I guess I have one. I just didn't read all the way through it. But former Aurora cop charged with graping daughter remains free as the mom of said daughter is sent to jail. So this is in Colorado. This was put up August 31st.
I used to like grapes a lot. I love grape soda. I love grape juice.
Yeah,
I love
I
white
don't like
grape
this
juice.
kind of graping.
No.
So I know it's kind of ruined that the actual grape for me.
Miss Concord grape juice.
Yeah,
So I can't think about it without assault.
I know. So a retired Aurora police sergeant faces criminal charges for graping his daughter and continuing to essay her and his 2 adopted daughters, but he remains free from custody while his ex-wife is in jail for objecting to a court-ordered reunification therapy meant to repair his relationship with his 2 sons.
Bitch,
So,
you don't tell me how to repair my life. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
How crazy is that?
Okay, let's recap. Let's unpack that.
Yeah, let's unpack that a lot. So he has been charged with essaying his daughter and adopted daughters.
Why is it that the most scummiest scumbags have the most amount of adopted daughters?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Who allowed this person to have yet another set of daughters?
Well, because I don't think they knew about it yet. They probably did it when they were young, and now they got a little older. And he goes, "Ooh, you look great." I don't know. Who knows?
Grapes.
Yeah, some grapes, ripe for the picking. And then the mom. So they have 2 sons as well. The mom says, "Hold on, you've done this to our other kids."
Right. This is not nothing new.
Yeah,
she knew about it. Mom knew about it.
Well, and I think he's been arrested.
Well, right. Okay.
So
right.
Now they want a reunification therapy with the boys, and she objects, and now she's in jail. That doesn't seem right.
So why does she object to a reunion? So just on the onset, trying to reunify not the second pair of daughters, but another.
So they have
we're talking about 6 kids.
They have 5 kids. So it seems 2 daughters
essayed. Oh,
1 graped, 2 essayed. So that's 3 daughters, and
there's a mixture of grapes and essay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the 2 boys that are not essayed or graped.
Right. Also, if your husband or your kid's dad did something bad to 3 of them because of their gender, why wouldn't you object to them being reunited with that man? You know what I mean?
Of course,
I know it doesn't.
The boys,
right? That's what I'm saying. Regardless of their gender, you should object because he's obviously harmed 3 of your 5 children.
And further than that, what kind of life lessons are your sons going to learn from the reunification of a monster, right?
Yes.
Unless you inherently don't agree with the victim, right?
Exactly. So the mother said that the reunification therapy by a licensed marriage and family therapist has been harmful, abusive, and counterproductive. For now, the mother has custody of the couple's minor children, and they are living in a domestic violence shelter. She said that she has arranged for family members to care for their children when she goes to jail because she objected to their therapy that has been harmful to her children. She said that the mother said that the therapist supported the efforts by her ex-husband to gain sole custody of their 2 youngest sons, now 10 and 13, and has psychologically tortured the children along the way. You're learning this along with me because this is the first time I've read this, so bear with me. We'll kind of stop every so often. It says their very last visit. This is a quote from the mom. She goes, "Their very last visit, I told her, this man now has formal criminal charges for essaying on children and child abuse, and you need to know this." She said of one of the encounters with the therapist before the reunification session with the children that the father attended. She went into the room, and the very first thing that this is what the mom is saying. The very first thing that my boy said is that she told them, "We need to make progress, and today you need to tell your father that you forgive him."
Oh.
So this therapist is he fucking her? I mean, seriously, why? I mean, I understand he's a retired police officer, but he doesn't get that big of a, you know what I mean?
Some people get off on the power trip.
Yeah. So the therapist declined any comments, saying the ethics of her profession meant she could neither confirm nor deny whether she was the reunification therapist for the children.
What state is this?
Well, Denver, Colorado is where it's. Aurora is a suburb of Denver.
Yeah, that was my Denver.
Yep. But court records confirmed that she was their court-ordered therapist. The mother of these children in documents denied. I'm sorry, I lied. The father, the alleged in the documents, denied criminal allegations of assailing any of his children and any form of physical abuse. Following the criminal filing in July, he posted a $50,000 surety bond and remains free from jail. He does have an ankle monitor, at least, I guess.
I mean,
His lawyer said in the divorce and the criminal case claimed that on August 1st, a court filing that the mother was not a credible witness and I
think she's not fucking somebody. She has to start fucking someone because everybody hates her.
Well, the mom is like, hey, I'm protecting my kids, but this guy is, so they said she's not a credible witness and is highly manipulative.
It's only okay
to
protect the girls. It's only okay to protect the girls. It's not okay to protect the boys. The fuck?
She's actually been found in contempt of court after the judge found that she continued to interfere with the reunification therapy. Her trip to let me back that up. Sorry. Her trip to jail occurs as such therapy and potential harms are increasingly coming under fire in Colorado. So this is not an isolated incident, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
As soon as you're done with that, I'm gonna
go ahead.
Add some color as to what Aurora, Colorado is facing right now.
Okay.
So please continue.
Well, no, basically, she's saying, I want to protect my kids. He's been abusive. But
just to the girls.
Yeah. So
what?
No,
how long ago was this?
This is happening now. This just happened. So during, hold on. So in this case, the mother has objected to reunification therapy on multiple grounds. She claims her ex is not a fit to parent their two youngest boys, and she remains fearful of the reunification therapy for the children. She points to criminal charges filed against her ex, and as well as the child protective findings that he repeatedly essayed their daughter, now 17, throughout her childhood and almost drowned their older son, now 19, in 2018.
Drowned. Like purposely drowned.
Yeah. And the parents have 4 children, 3 of which are minors, but the father is seeking sole custody of the 2 youngest boys. The father are also adopted the mom's 2 other daughters, but those children are no longer minors, and aren't subject to any custody disputes. The children who are no longer minors have now moved out on their own, but the 17-year-old daughter does claim that her father had raped her when she was almost 6 years old and continued the essaying throughout her childhood.
And these are the same motherfuckers that'll be like, you know why? Because she could have stopped. She could have liked it. I'm sure she likes it by now, right?
Right. Well, and then the 2 oldest, the adopted daughters, claim that they were also essayed. And the oldest son has told a forensic interviewer he felt like his father tried to drown him in a pool in 2018 in Costa Rica, using police control tactics, holding him underwater until he began to black out. The boy said he believed his father was vengeful because the boy woke up one night and confronted his father, whose hand he claims he saw down the undergarments of his sister.
So that was one thing I was going to ask. Now we have to ask the boys, the way you entrap them is you have to ask the boys, have you seen any issues? Because now you're going to involve the boys into the girls thing. And then that's the best way to move forward for these motherfuckers, because of course those kids have seen something. Of course he's a danger to those fucking boys,
right.
Clearly. But if you want to really drive it home, put those kids on the stand or interrogate them and be like, what have you seen?
Yeah, it's
I'm sure a lot.
I'm
sure it's not isolated. People are watching you do this,
Agreed.
Oh God. So Aurora's not doing too great.
No,
not at all.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why. There's a couple of articles here that says, like, for example, tenants at troubled Aurora apartment speak out against a Venezuelan gang. So there's gang activity in Aurora, which is a suburb of Chicago. It's spilling over from the actual.
Not Chicago, Denver.
I'm sorry, Colorado, Denver. Like, my apologies. So Denver, it's a big circle, right? And then there's, it sounds like a cross with like different suburbs in the cross, and then this is, and Boulder's beautiful because I mean, but I love Boulder, but Boulder is obviously affluent and it's a different thing. So Aurora is getting flooded with gang activity now, and they say that it's Venezuelan, and it says that the residents at an Aurora apartment complex are finally speaking out. People have seen like viral videos going completely mental, but like it's showing people speaking in Spanish, and several people like this tenant Rojas. He said it was just literally crime everywhere. People are showing guns, people are showing cash, drugs, your typical gang activity. But that's what's happening in Aurora. I just wonder if anything is connected, if or what part of Aurora they live in, or if there's a clean part of Aurora.
I don't know.
But she, like, people are saying that there's like life deteriorated pretty quickly in like a nightmarish ordeal of frequent encounters with these gangs. And she noticed that gradual increase in crime in the Denver metro area in general, but then also Aurora in the last 3 months. So it's like a new thing, but things are going downhill in that part of the country. Here, let me share this real quick, because I think visuals are important. We can drive it home.
I know there's been a lot of talks within the past week that allegedly a lot of people on TikTok have been calling out for the Hells Angels to come help them. And
oh wow,
on their own. Yeah, they're allegedly that they were on their way. Yeah. So, but apparently someone said that they pissed one of their own off.
Well, let's be fair. There's usually a HA chapter in every city and area. I mean, so they're not just false in one area.
False on this. I'm not saying you are false, but apparently it was a big thing. So they said Colorado to combat a Venezuelan gang problem. This was videos filmed in Brazil in July. So this was a viral video going. They may be. I'm not saying they're not, but one of the things that was going on the internet was people saying Colorado, like they're calling the Hells Angels to Colorado, and
apparently, like they're getting no support from
no one does.
The police, not even like nothing. It's like
military can never be the military can never be released on American soil. That's not what the military is for. So just to put that clear, like the military is never going to save us on our own soil. It's illegal for us to use the military here. We need to use it abroad. It's purely a foreign affair thing. Of course, there's National Guard, right? And people, I'm sure, have militias, but they can never let the military out. Even if it got really bad, like the military is never going to come out. That's not what they're for.
Well, they can, but it has to come. It's the same thing like when they had the riots.
They have to break the law.
Yeah.
But if you want to break the law,
aren't they breaking the law though?
Who's breaking the law? Yeah. So no law. So we have no law.
No, the Venezuelans aren't they like, isn't it getting pretty bad? Like where they're even charging people who are living in these apartments rent, like
extortion, for sure. But the military, like the Air Force is never going to go to Aurora.
No, because they have to declare like a martial law type thing. Like if there's
not even
a riot.
That's the National Guard. That's what that's for. But like the military, like like Marines and stuff like that, they're never going to come to like they cannot be released in America. That's why we have so many different kinds of military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to dispel that. So just in case like people are saying, "Where's the military?" Like when George Floyd happened, or right? Totally. Like, I would say like a normal person would be like, "Well, send them in the military," but it's not legal. I'll look up the thing. But yeah, this is just one thing. They might be going for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of allegedly stories everywhere going out right now.
Allegedly stories.
Like Like the Hells Angels, like I said, that was a big one, and that was allegedly they were going out. But I don't know. I don't even know if they're even there. I mean, you'll probably never even hear about it either because they don't. That's
we have
something.
TikTok. We have TikTok lives now. Like you can't stop live streams. That changed the world. That changed the world.
I don't know if they even arrived or haven't arrived or
I don't want to talk out of turn here, but I mean, even like here in Omaha when they do like car shows, Hells Angels have booths there. Come see our bikes. They, and I understand that they are in that 1%er, motorcycle game, motorcycle club, but they're a bit more mainstream than they used to be.
They're the most mainstream, like the most. Yeah. And then Sons of Anarchy boosted MCs into like the American culture. So
right. I mean, yeah, and not again.
It was a phenomenon. I loved that show. Allie was enthralled by that show. Best show I've ever seen.
It was so good.
Kurt Sutter's a fucking genius. It was beautiful. They put beautiful people on it. It was good for everybody. It was wonderful. It was porn and blow and fucking. It was awesome and great looking people. It was just what a great thing. Everybody's dressed in black. It was sick. Great actors,
Harleys and shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, dude, it's fucking super cool. But like, that's obviously a romanticized version of what an MC is.
Well, right. I mean, there are some nefarious things that go on in those 1%er groups.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
it's obvious.
But the Hells Angels has gone a bit more mainstream than I ever thought that they would. Even 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you're like, oh shit, HA. Let me fucking,
so you're closer to it. I don't even call it HA. Like, I don't have that. I'm not
sorry.
I'm not on an acronym basis with them.
May have known a few people.
So I can't really say my brother he's not in a gang, but he's a medic, right? Yeah. And let's just say that he needed to patch up a couple of people,
right?
That would call him in the middle of the night, and they would thank him in different ways. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So he was basically Tara. He was Tara.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the Aurora Police Department responded. This is the police department to social media claims that this is 2 days ago. This is yesterday, the 2nd. That headed to Colorado. They said they do not believe posts to be credible, and they will continue to monitor the situation. But it's really going to bake your noodle. When they get there, was it because they decided to go, or was it because these fucking news reports keep coming out, like beckoning them to go?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Truth.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to go to clean the place up because now they can't be seen as bitches that are not going to help because they've been like thrust to the forefront in something they didn't want to even do?
I don't know if it's even worth it. If it's not, I don't know.
It's a good question. Like it's called stochastic terrorism. Stochastic terrorism is me standing up here going, man, this and this is wrong. Like, I don't know, the Aurora thing with the Venezuelan gangsters out of control, man. And I have a big audience. God, I wish somebody should go in there and clean it up. And if I say that every day,
right,
I'm gaslighting one of my millions of followers to be like, oh my God, I got to do this. He's talking to me. You know what I mean? And it's a daily thing. You rile people up without really taking the blame for it. You're just wishing. I just wish things would work out. And then what you're doing is you're gaslighting people to be like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then they're going to carry out whatever you want. So I wonder if there's a little bit of that. Yeah. Sorry to hijack your story here. It was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun.
This was a fun for sure.
This was fun.
I didn't even know I was muted. I'm over here talking. I didn't even know I was muted.
Shit. We just thought you were listening.
Yeah, you're like, man, this really getting to her,
You were muted.
I was like, until the thing popped up muted. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I was muted. Well, thank you guys. It's been an amazing, wonderful night. We'll see you guys Tuesday.
Speaking of Latinos, it's Latino night here. It's Star Wars.
I like it.
I like it. I like that shit. It's Star Wars.
Oh goodness.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you guys on Friday.
Yeah.
For our next show.
Should be fun.
Always join us. Always join us for our live streams on Friday. Every Friday night we have a live stream. If there isn't, we'll supply you with a juicy video, but
Yeah.
We're probably going to be on live dollars to donuts. Take that to the bank.
And leave us a comment, leave us a message, share, like. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
So with that said, good night, everyone.
Don't stab anyone.
Don't eat the cornbread.